we as a country are used to the box office numbers, figures, and everything to gauge if a series or a film is a success or not. What is the barometer of success when something premieres on Amazon?
It's the buzz that any piece of content creates, and it's almost instantaneous.
When you acquire a film, say like a Coolie Number One, for example, what are the sources of revenue for you as a streaming platform apart from rise in subscription base? Is there anything else or?
We're a pure subscription service, and we're a part of the Prime membership program, which is a really unique program with multiple benefits.
Correct. And what's the status quo? There are two more shows which were announced. There is one is Mumbai Diaries with Nikhil Advani. There is Family Man season 2, which is keenly awaited. What's happening on the?
Coming soon.
Hi guys, this is Himesh and welcome to Pinkvilla. What might have happened 5 years down the lane has happened in 5 months thanks to the coronavirus pandemic. The audience base of India has shifted from television and theatrical medium to OTT. And today we have with us Mr. Vijay Subramaniam from Amazon Prime. Welcome to Pinkvilla, sir. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
So to start with, do you agree to the fact that the audience base might have shifted to OTT 5 years down the line, but the pandemic has made that process a lot faster?
Well, the truth is that customers have always had multiple choices when it comes to viewing entertainment. This is not new. In terms of adoption, sure, it's something that people started getting familiar with a couple of years ago, when we came into India. And then when they started looking at the selection and they realized that we're really programming for every Indian, they started embracing the service, with a lot of enthusiasm. And in the last year or so, yes, I'd like to believe that the fact that people have spent so much time at home meant that they've been committing to services like ours with a lot more intensity. That said, I think there's still a long way to go. This is a very big country. We're talking about over 1 billion people. And I think the more we program to be much loved, the more likely that we will be much loved by all Indians.
Correct. And the million-dollar question, we as a country are used to the box office numbers, figures, and everything to gauge if a series or a film is a success or not. What is the barometer of success when something premieres on Amazon?
It's the buzz that any piece of content creates, and it's almost instantaneous. If you talk to people who've been a part of this journey, and they will tell you that the kind of feedback that they get is not only copious, but it's also instant. I mean, the kind of one-on-one interactions that fans have with the stars is unmatched. It's unparalleled. No other medium allows for this kind of interaction. And I think that in itself is a clear indicator of a film's popularity, and we stand by that. So if you look at and to be honest, see, the different mediums have different ways of evaluating popularity, right?
Yeah.
When you look at the trailer release, you go and see how many people have already watched it in how quick a span of time. Similarly, when we premiere a film, just the sheer volume of social media conversations for the film with the talent and so on and so forth will give you a very good indication of how well it's tracking. Okay. And the amazing thing here is it's not restricted to any one geography.
True.
You're going to get feedback from everywhere, all over the world.
Yeah. Correct. But internally, there must be another system to track how many people are.
Of course, there are plenty of those.
Yeah, correct. And the dynamics of business are changing in today's time, particularly in COVID times with shorter OTT window and everything. So when compared to pre-COVID times, is there a change in financial terms as well? When a film used to premiere 8 years down the lane, now it comes to 4 weeks. So is there a premium price that you have to put out to acquire a film, or?
Not really. I mean, there are various economic models that work, and ultimately, I think what's really encouraging is that the entire industry, not just in Hindi, but all the film industries down south, recognize the role that we play in that economic model and understand that we are here to help support the industry and at the same time build a model that is sustainable for everyone.
True.
So what has changed is the fact that there are more and more avenues to reach customers.
True.
And it's important for producers to acknowledge that, and they are. I mean, the fact remains that there used to be a time, and let me give you the example of any film that premieres on our service right now, the chances are that we are taking that content to towns and cities where otherwise a film may not have gone because traditional distribution has its limitations. I think there's a value to that as well, and producers recognize all of that.
True, but if we look at the slate of films that have come to Amazon over last 1 year, there has been a slate from Malayalam cinema, that is Drishyam. There has been Tamil, which is the Surya film. There have been so many Hindi films. When you look at them, what is the process of deciding of what content you want to buy?
Yeah, so I think for us, every decision starts with the customer first. We work all our efforts are really to understand customers' tastes and preferences. When it comes to entertainment, we also recognize that no two customers' tastes and preferences will be alike all the time, and it's constantly evolving. That's why it's entertainment, right? So all our decisions are essentially guided by that, and so we do two things consistently and keeping the customer in mind. One is we recognize that we are programming for India, which means the diversity of the country has to be respected and acknowledged, right? We have so many languages, so many communities, so many microcultures, and we have to pay attention to all of that. And so variety becomes very, very important. And secondly, I think it's important to recognize that the moods are also different, right? You may be after a long day at work, you may want to just kick back and watch a fun, light-hearted film. On the weekend, you may be in the mood for something more intense. So we have to program for the many moods as well. And so we keep these factors in mind when we actually look at content. And then our criteria is pretty deep, in terms of not just the story, but who's producing it, who's acting in it, why will the story have the reach it will in success, and so on and so on. We do a bunch of things, and we do them constantly.
Correct. And there's one more question, which often pops up on the social media. When you acquire a film, say like a Coolie Number One, for example, what are the sources of revenue for you as a streaming platform apart from rise in subscription base? Is there anything else, or?
We're a pure subscription service, and we're a part of the Prime membership program, which is a really unique program with multiple benefits. As you're aware, there's shipping, shopping, Prime Video, Prime Music, and a whole bunch of other things that we will keep incentivizing Prime members with. And we are just happy to be a part of that program. And the goal is to really make the Prime membership program a huge success in India. And that's what we're doing.
Okay. And what's the slate that you have in offering in the next, say, summer slate and post that?
I think we've got a bunch of big films coming up. We've announced them already. We've got, besides Hello Charlie, we've got Toofan coming up. So I think that's an action-packed summer right there. And then we've got a bunch of others that are coming up, but I'm not at liberty to share them with you just yet. But needless to say, as soon as we are ready to announce, you guys will be the first one that we'll be talking to anyway.
Perfect. And there's Inside Edge 3, which is another collaboration with XL. I believe it's been shot. What's the status quo? When can we expect?
So shortly. We haven't announced dates yet, and whenever we have, as I said, we'll make sure that we communicate it once we are ready.
Correct. And what's the status quo? There are two more shows which were announced. One is Mumbai Diaries with Nikhil Advani. There is Family Man Season 2, which is keenly awaited. What's happening on the?
So coming soon. That's what we said. We had actually indicated that the Family Man second season will be released in summer, and so highly anticipated, very exciting, and we'll announce the release details very soon.
And you just announced your foray into film production with Ram Setu.
Right.
So could you tell us something on the plans on the film front for Amazon?
So the idea of working on the co-production side is really to be able to go even more deeper with within the filmmaking ecosystem in India. And what we want to do is work with marquee studios on marquee films and participate throughout its journey. So this is the first that we announced, and we expect to do a few more. But as I said, they will be done selectively and in a very highly curated manner.
Correct. And last question, I believe there is also a plan to venture into cinema business, Amazon Cinemas, or is that just a industry rumor?
I have no idea. I haven't heard that. This is the first time I'm hearing it.
Okay. And last words on Hello Charlie and Toofan. What are you expecting from the two films which are your summer?
Yeah, I mean, look, we started the year with a bang. Drishyam 2 was the one that, and then we followed it up with Master, two massive films. And I think we're very happy that we're able to continue with the momentum, with the lens shifting to Hindi now. I think Hello Charlie is the film that we all need. It's one of those films that is going to make you laugh, it's going to entertain you, you're going to want to watch bits and parts of it again and again because it's really funny. As I said, it's a very well put together caper. Kudos to Pankaj. I mean, and the entire cast and crew, the way they've acted, it's also natural. It's a really fun film, and I think it'll entertain everyone at home. I think that's a great way to kick off summer, right? And then Toofan is one of the most anticipated films of all time. I mean, as I'm talking about it, I'm getting goosebumps. I mean, that's just the sheer intensity of that film. It's so brilliant. What can I say? Farhan has always been a force of nature, and his collaboration with Rakesh Om Prakash Mehra, the first one was legendary. I think this one, punches even higher. I think it's a film that's going to be talked about much after its world premiere. I think it's also a film that will be enjoyed by people not just in India but all over the world.
Okay, really looking forward to all the shows, films on Prime, and it was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much.
Likewise, thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
If you like this video, like, share or subscribe to Pinkvilla.